Hey, what's going on, bike people of the internet? I thought I'd start 2024 with a quick garage update for you, and yeah, wishing you happy new year and give you a little insight to what projects you can expect to see on the channel in 2024. So let's start with the road bikes, because not much is going to happen road bike wise in 2024, hopefully, at present anyhow, unless something comes up for sale that I can't resist. Specialized Venge, it's going to stay as it is because I really like it as it is. Specialized Diverge, I still use this quite a lot. Just need to get some new bar tapes, it's a bit rough. Brakes need to bleed and new pads. Generally, other than that, it's all pretty good. That's going to stay as it is. Canyon Endurace is going to see a couple of upgrades. I'd love to get some carbon wheels for this, so I'm kind of on the lookout for something because I'm not really keen on these DT Swiss wheels. But yeah, I've already upgraded the cranks to force cranks, carbon cranks. So I'm basically just going to try to knock some weight out of this. That's the main effort. CAD 10, this is hill climb setup at the moment. As you can see, it's only got a single 38 tooth at the front there at the moment. Yeah, just keep it as it is. I use this down in Cornwall for the really steep hills down there, so it works really well for that. CAD X will remain as it is because it's kind of my workhorse ride to work bike. And CAD 3, the hill climb bike from last year, that's going to remain as it is, although I might change out the GRX chain set for something different because I'm not super keen on the chain line. I'll go into that in another video for you if you want me to, but that's the only minor gripe with this bike. On to the mountain bikes. Trek Session 8 2010. It's a museum piece now. I don't really plan to use it much ever again, but I can't bear to get rid of it. The 2017 Trek Remedy 9 Race Shop Limited. I'm actually considering selling this at this point in time because I've got something coming to replace it as my trail bike. So yeah, it's definitely one I'm considering selling at the moment, although used bike prices are ridiculously low, and it's a real good looking bike. It's always a little bit too small for me, to be honest. I should have gone a size up, but yeah, so that may actually sell that one. Cotic Beefy Max, I still really love enjoying this bike. I might put it on a bit of a diet. I might change the Z1 coil to something a bit lower travel and lighter, maybe a Fox 34. And I've got another trail bike coming in 2024. So that's the main changes to the mountain bike fleet. So yeah, after that we're on to the retros. I think it's probably the best way to put them. They're not really mountain bikes per se. So we've got all these retros here. We also have the Bolinas Ridge, and we have the Bear Valley over here. So let's dive into these in detail because these are like the upcoming projects for the channel. So starting with the 97 Bear Valley SE, and as you can see there's lots of stuff on the front of this, and this is because last year in February I ordered a switch bike kit for it. It hasn't gone quite to plan in many respects. I'm still kind of formulating my thoughts on overall if it's a great product or not. The install didn't go particularly smoothly. As you can see, there's all sorts of shenanigans going on to get this to work. Yeah, I'm still forming my thoughts about this, and I may even change this switch bike kit to a different bike or put flat bars onto this because I generally think the kit doesn't work with drop bars. So yeah, look out for that video. I want to get a lot more miles on this first, so it'll probably be February, March time by the time I get it done, because the riding outside this winter is being ridiculous. But yeah, other than that, it's the same as the last video. So just switch kit on the front. One thing I can mention is like this is super heavy at the front now, so that's kind of changed the ride characteristics quite a lot. Oops, sneaky peek. Yeah, so yeah, switch kit, expect a review on that coming soon. It's not going to be all rosies though, so they didn't send this to me. I bought it with my own money and it took forever to turn up. There's good and bad aspects about it, so I'm hoping to do a deep dive onto that one and get a proper product review out there for you. So yeah, that's it for the Bear. On to the 91, is it? I can't remember what year this is now. It's about that, 1990, 1991 Marin Bolinas Ridge. I'm currently having a tinker with this bike at the moment. I haven't loved the way it rides. It's kind of a bit wooden. Nothing wrong with that, but I think I've got racier bikes with flat bars, so I think I might put some wide riser bars on this and a shorter stem and make it more of a fun town bike, hack around bike, what everybody else does to their bikes basically. Just to make it a bit different, because it kind of competes with one of the Cannondales. It kind of competes with F600 over here with the flat bars, and the F600 is just different league, I think, because it's significantly lighter and faster feeling. So there's too much crossover between those two bikes. So I need to diverge it and turn it into something a bit different and unique. I still love the way it looks, like the fluoro yellow. It looks outstanding, and I think the black paint on the wall makes it look better. Yes, that's something I'm tinkering with, so expect a video on that in a not too distant future. So this is a 93 cone, a Cinder Cone. I picked it up for £50, very locally to me actually, in the same town I live in. It's terrible and good at the same time. Like, the setup on it is strange. It's got these really high-rise skinny bars. I think most of it's original. Other than that, it's just been turned into a town bike. So it's got these like chrome fenders. It's got these like pedals off a granny bike that are really rubbish. But I think everything else is pretty original. I think it's got the original Dior DX front shifter. It's got the original Gen 1 Alex rear. It's from 93. It's got the skinny Alex hubs. Obviously it's been fitted with a massive sofa saddle like every single bike I tend to buy is. At the front, it's obviously got crappy tyres on it as well. Skinny Alex front hubs, Alex brakes. I'm not sure about these plastic levers, or if they're original or not. I'm trying to figure that one out. I think they could be original. It's got the original wheels because they're different rims front to the back, I think, if I remember right. It's got the original Dior shifters, which feel fantastic, to be fair. A Velocity stem. The only thing that's missing is a cap from it. Someone's got this bung. Don't understand that bung, it's a bit rusty in there. So basically I'm thinking a full restoration and maybe a brown saddle with brown grips, flat bars, kind of racy, maybe a touch of anodized blue because there's a little bit of blue or purple in the frame. It just needs a full restoration, I think, and it'd be a really cool bike. So yeah, that's sort of winter project at the moment. So yeah, expect to see that one soon. Hopefully I'll get working on it after the Marin. So next project, this is one I hope to do in the spring, is a Cannondale Super V. I think this is a year 2000 Cannondale Super V. I think it's the 2000 model as well, so a V2000, but there's obviously no name. This is CAD 4 on it. I probably overpaid a little bit for this bike. I bought it off of eBay. I think I paid about 220 for it, which is a bit juicy considering the current market, but it's an extra large as well, so it's probably, if anything, maybe a little bit too big for me. So yeah, but I'm gonna do a Resto-mod on this, I think. It's got some interesting parts on it. So I think this is a Jekyll rear end on it as well. It's not a Super V rear end. It has in the catalogue photos, which is interesting. And some of the decals are sort of under the lacquer, but there's some decals above the lacquer as well, which is a bit strange. Still a handmade in the USA one, but it's got some quite nice custom bits on it. So it's pretty much all was Dior DX. It's got an Alex crank on this side, XT on that side, so there's some strangeness going on there. Got it out of gear, that's why it's not working quite right there. It's got 521 rims, D521s on XT hubs, which are quite nice. 36 spokes, so super stout. I can't see any butting, only single butted spokes, so quite strong wheels, but it feels quite light overall. It's got, let's move around to the front. It's got like Mark 1 version Hope brakes here. So these brakes are way older than the bike. Some quite nice Yeti grips that haven't gone sticky, so I might try to retain them for a different build at some point in time. They're kind of cool, and they might clean up. It's got like a much newer Dior. I think I had one of these myself from 2003 or 4. I think that one's from, so maybe the pet trigger shifters failed. It's got the original XT on this side. Super fatty front fork. The boot's not split on it. It's a bit of paint peel here and there. The sticker's a bit shot. It's got some quite nice IRC tyres, but it's not really appropriate for the bike. They're quite small. It's got some race face cross-country bars, which are pretty cool. Negatives. It's got a massive negative stem. Either it's up in the sky or very slammed, so I might have to look at getting a different stem for it. It's got a really nice X-like click-on seat post here. I think the reach on this bike is a bit too long for me currently, so I might take out this click-on CNC seat post here and put it on the Killer V, because it would look really good, and swap the seat posts over, because I'll put an inline one on here. It's got a Flight titanium saddle. It's a bit rough around the edges, and the red doesn't really suit the rest of the frame, I don't think. But I think this one could potentially be saved and used for a different bike at some point in time. So yeah, this saddle's not going to stay with the bike, but maybe we can rehome that. Yeah, overall, I think it's going to be quite good. So I think my plan for this is a Resto-mod, so I'm going to go for one bike, because especially with these suspension designs, you really want a chain set, chain ring, which has, let's roll it back a second. If you have when you're in the big ring, this bike bobs like mad. When you're in the little ring, it kind of squats like mad, so it really goes uphill really well. And the middle ring is very neutral, so I want to optimize the chain ring around the middle chain ring, so a 32 tooth it looks like probably, which makes sense. 32 or 34, which are all in line with the pivot there, which will align all the forces when you're pedaling. Just much more like a modern bike, because to be honest, the big ring's useless on this bike. It's strange. It bobs too much. But there, yes, this old suspension bike nonsense really. So yeah, modern clutch drivetrain, modern tyres, maybe some yellow tyres would look cool. So I'm going to make it into kind of a full suspension XC bike, I think. Not 100% sure yet. We'll take it apart and have some fun. But yeah, expect that one to come to the channel soonish, spring 2024. So the next bike project for 2024 is this, the thermonuclear protection bike, aka the mystery bike, because I don't know what it is. This was a Gumtree pickup. It was £25, and I literally bought it because it's got a DCD. I really wanted a DCD, and it's got a Ringlet bottle cage, which I can make out in the pictures. The rest of it I wasn't too worried about. It's got a Manitou fork, which I thought might be pretty decent, but the elastomers are gone this, so it's a full restoration needed of that. So that was, I literally bought it on a whim for that reason. But when I got it, it actually has some quite nice details. Let's show you. So, well, let's start at the top, shall we? It's got a titanium alloy bar, so it's definitely non-magnetic. It's painted though, it's very strange. It's got blue Tektro brake levers, which I think are quite snazzy. I might end up putting those onto the Marin, the fluorescent yellow Marin, the Billionist Ridge. It's got another fluorescent blue dangler there, which is quite cool. It's obviously had a bike computer on it at some point. The grip shifts aren't sticky. It's got some nifty bar ends, but you know, I think most bar ends should die nowadays. It's got some big fat squidgy tyres. Quill stem. I did do some measurements on this. I did take it apart. This is 1.25 inch quill stem, so it's a bit unusual there. I still don't know what the frame is, but the paint finish on it is absolutely exceptional. There's not many scratches on it. It's got this real nice metallic luster to it, so I'm really tempted to do something with this bike. Just not quite sure what yet. It's got a 30.0 seat post, and moving to the rear, we've got a whole Tektro brake back here in anodized blue. It's a shame. Oh, let's pop it It's a shame the front isn't the Tetra as well. We've got some cool stock pads. Yeah, I think this was someone's pride and joy when they were a teenager, and it's just not been touched. It's got anodized blue bolts there, that ring glaze style bottle cage. I'm guessing it's a Tetra one. Chain set isn't anything. I think it's Altus level. Obviously the chain guard's smashed up. DCD Altus on the rear, so nothing exceptional. No replaceable dropout. The welds are a bit strange as well. You've got like normal TIG weld in there, but the front's really sort of, it's almost like it's been MIG welded. So it's very strange, but I think it's cool. What I could do is get rid of the Manitou fork and quill stem and put an A headset in it, because this is the same size as an 1/8" headset system, so you could just put a straight fork on it. Maybe we could turn it to a gravel bike. The stickers are all peeling off, but yeah. Oh, it's got Dior Alex pedals as well, so these pedals might end up going onto the Killer V upstairs, because that's the show pony of the garage, the Killer V at the moment. So the seat posts from the other Cannondale and these pedals might end up going onto that. Maybe a DCD as well. But yeah, actually, when I cycled this home, and had a quick go on it. I probably actually cycled this about 20 miles outside, and it goes well. It's not bad. It's just an odd bike. I don't know what brand the frame is. I got my suspicions, but I'm going to hold out for the main video. Obviously the sticker's been peeled off. But yeah, I thought it could be a Marin, but I'm pretty sure it's not at this point in time. But yeah, if you know what it is, let me know in the comments. I've got my suspicions. I just think it's kind of cool. Could be a good project. It could just be get sat on the shelf, the frame, but I kind of like the frame. I might just turn it into a commuter bike, because I don't think anybody would give it a second look really. If you tone down all the parts to sort of silver and black, maybe a one by, I think it would be a cool bike. So yeah, that's going to come not too distant future. Hopefully a tear down soonish for this one. So this is a bike I don't quite know what to do with. It was kind of a impulse buy to a certain extent. The chap was moving house and wanted a shot of it, so he sold it for £50, which I think was a bargain. This is a 1998-1999 Raleigh MX 200. It is in pretty much mint condition, apart from it's been stored. It's pretty much standard as well, apart from it's got this art stem on it with a 3-bolt interface, which is probably massively chunky, I'm guessing. STX RC, brake levers and brakes, RockShox Indy S on the front. I think other than that, it's pretty much original. It's got the original WTB Velociraptors, and they're actually in good condition. The sidewall isn't ruined on those yet. Paint condition's lovely, so it's candy apple green metallic, looks superb. Negatives, I had an M-Trax this era, I think it was a 150 or 125, and it had exactly the same decals as this, and they're like water transfers, so it takes nothing to chip and peel them off. So it could use some new stickers, but I mean, you can see how it's just cracking away there. This happened to me, my one in period, so maybe these decals need to come off or get something different popped onto it. This water bottle cage, although it's lovely metallic green, it's too flimsy to use really. You can have half a kilo of water bouncing around this, so it's not going to hold it. It was supplied by Giles Cycles in Carterton, which I believe is now Mountain Mania in Carterton. So that's kind of cool. Other interesting things, it's nearly no Shimano drivetrain on this, so it's a Suntour chain set, STX front neck. It's got a Sachs center rear derailleur system, so this is pre-SRAM and not grip shift, so very interesting. This is all composite resin, carbon reinforced nylon, I believe this rear derailleur, so it's quite interesting. Other than that, it's just very original, in very good condition. I swapped out the saddle on it because I've had a few rides on it this summer. Other than that, it's just a just a nice mountain bike, and this is kind of one of the ones I would love to have as a teenager, like an affordable paper round dream bike, way back when. So yeah, I'm just happy to have it. So I think it's just going to be a stripped down service, bring it back to life, maybe change the stem to something a bit lower, get rid of the bar ends probably. Yeah, just a quick turnaround and service for this one. Just have it in the collection as a nice oddity. Do some detailing and use it really. I think it's really nice. So I really like the colour. This green looks superb, I think. So yeah, that'll come around at some point. I'm not in no rush to build this one because it's kind of usable as it is. But yeah, we'll take it apart and have some fun with this and make a video out of it. Okay, nearly there of all the projects we're going to be working on in 2024. This is a 1994 or maybe 95 Saracen Power Tracks. I picked up locally secondhand. I think it was a really good deal. I paid £50 for it, which I think is pretty good. Again, it's one of those sort of paper round bikes, if that's such a thing. I really like the colour. It's sort of an off teal green. My first proper mountain bike was a Saracen, so I've always got a soft spot for them. And obviously you've seen the recent Saracen build on my video. What sold me on this, it has the it has the early Mazzocchi, the pre-bomber Mazzocchis. So yeah, these are pretty cool. They're quite rusty, so I don't really trust riding them at the moment. So I want to give these a full tear down, slosh out the oil because it's going to be decades old, put some fresh suspension fork oil in it and get those up and running again properly. This little power adjuster thingamabobby here doesn't work very well, so that needs a service. The brake pads don't feel great either. They feel like they've gone really hard. Flying along the frame, generally it's okay. It's a bit tarnished. I think it'll polish up really nicely, but it's a tanged triple butted or double butted chromoly main tubes on this bike. And everything is Alivio on a drivetrain. This is like a full Alivio spec on this bike. Again, on that frame there, we've got a nice detail around the back. I switched out the saddle because, as usual, it came with a sofa saddle and I wanted to have a few little rides on it. It's not working perfectly at the moment. It's actually struggling to shift into the big outer chainring, so we need to put some work in there, and the chain is just disgusting. And it's got some really bad tyres with like tyre shine on them. Who tyre shines a mountain bike? But yeah, other than that, it's okay. So yeah, it's got a full Alivio group set, Alivio hubs, Alivio derailleurs, front and rear Alivio brake calipers, and Alivio combo shifters at the front here. So to be fair, I think this is just going to be a restoration on this bike, because I think that will suit it best. So maybe, and much like the Cone, and maybe I think a brown saddle might work quite well on this one. Maybe black, maybe brown, not sure just yet, but yeah, this is just going to be another restoration project. So tear down, figure out what's wrong, get some nice tyres on it, probably Billy Bonkers, because you know Billy Bonkers, they're just great. Yeah, and take it from there really. So yeah, this will be a cool little project for the channel, so expect to see this again in 2024. So hopefully you saw my last video with the 1997, 98, I can't remember off the top of my head, Klein Pulse. I've stripped the paint off the bike actually very successfully. You look, let me zoom out a bit. You look in details, very little crud left on any of the welds on the frame anymore. So the actual paint stripping process was pretty good. There's a couple of little bits I got to pick off, but generally we're 99.9% of the way here. Actually more red paint on my wall now than there is on the actual bike. It's looking pretty good, although we're going to have to pause this bike now until the weather gets a bit warmer so we can spray it in confidence that the paint will stick, because you know aerosol based paints don't like to be sprayed in cold weather, and it's probably ambient 6-7 degrees, 8 degrees in my garage today. Whatever the outside temperature is, it's the same temperature in my garage. It's not heated in here. Yeah, I'm going to fit these paste forks. I'm going to get some new decals and give these a fully service. I think it'll look super pimping. kind of, I think I'm going to go for a Resto-mod on this one. So retro forks, probably long stem, more modern stem though, maybe from a road bike. But I'm going to fit a 1x drivetrain because that's what I want to do, and it probably annoys some Klein collectors somewhere, but I think it looks super cool. Paint job wise, actually I'm still half tempted to polish this bike, but it's not a very Kleiny thing to do. It's a very GT thing, but I think I want to do a paint job on it. The paint job I currently fancy, although I like the Horizon faded paint jobs Kleins would do, it's probably a bit beyond my skill level with rattle cans. So the paint job I'm thinking of doing is the rainforest colour scheme, which I think looks super cool. So it'd be a white base, black Klein logo, then get a sponge with some fluorescent yellow and blue and blodge onto the frame. That will give us a combo of colours, blue, yellow, and the combo of those two makes it green. Then we add some black blodges to it as well, which would give us the rainforest colour scheme, which I think look neat, and we'll match that with some green decals with the forks. I think it'll look pretty trick then. 1x at the front. Yeah, I can kind of envision where I would like to take this project into the future. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled, but there's no update on this for some time now until the weather improves. So probably looking at April time for the paint job, and maybe I'll do a dry build but before then if I get all the parts in. But I think I'm quite full as it is with other projects. So yeah, this is just sitting here waiting for the weather to improve essentially. But yeah, it's going to be a cool project. Another project, and another big one for 2024 is inside this box, and as you might be able to guess, it's not a retro bike, it's something a lot newer. I've been picking up the bones of Chain Reaction and Wiggle and in their unfortunate situation they've got themselves into, and picking myself up something carbon and nice. I'll drag it out of the box and show you now. So yeah, this is the modern bike I'm going to be building this year. It's a Nukeproof reactor. I believe this is a 2021 model. This is the carbon frame. It's extra large, so super long. I've got it in the raw unidirectional finish, which I think looks really cool because it's just plain carbon that's been lacquered over. And it's got some chrome Nukeproof decals along there. I think it looks super good. It's got the Fox Float X rear damper. It's carbon, everything carbon, chain stays and seat stays, obviously aluminium rocker link. Yeah, so I'm just gathering the parts up from this, and I've bought way too much from Chain Reaction Wiggle in their sale they're having as the company's in administration. So I'm picking up all sorts of nonsense for like $1.99 and 99p and 49 pence, and you know, the deals on there recently up to Christmas were absolutely ridiculous. I think handlebars were £1.99 for Brand X handlebars, and I think I bought some carbon bars for £20, and headsets of 49 pence each. It was absolutely ridiculous. So I just loaded up all sorts of stuff in there. It may come useful or not in the future. For 49p you can take that kind of risk. Yeah, so this is a carbon Nukeproof reactor, and you can expect this build coming to the channel soon. Hopefully we'll take it to some good trail centres and get outside a bit more and not just do garage builds, and do a bit more mountain biking like we used to do way back when. Yeah, so it's all pretty good in the garage, to be fair. So yeah, that's the overview of all the bits and pieces you can expect to see coming to the channel. There may be more, there may be less. At some point I'm going to have a bit of a clear out and maybe sell a couple of these bikes. But yeah, I think this looks awesome. This will be a great project, and yeah. So yeah, this should be a quite long-winded and boring video. But yeah, the garage is pretty full at the moment, and we need to find some space to stick this because this is going to be a giant bike. But yeah, everything's looking good in the garage. Pretty happy with everything, the way everything's organised and sorted out. So yeah, happy 2024 to you. I wish you all well. yeah, if you please like, comment and subscribe, and if you want to see any more detailed videos on any of these bikes, they're mostly on the channel. I think the only one that's not really on the channel is a Trek Session in the corner, because it's almost predates the channel. But yeah, if you want to see anything more on any of these bikes, let me know in the comments, and I'll make a little video for you. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and have a great 2024, and I'll speak to you again soon. Cheers.